also want to make a couple general remarks, which I'm sure some other members of council would like to jump in on once we get to new business, about some of the accusations of some of the rules of Robert's rules and my opinion on that. I spoke to Mr. Spirk about it. I went back and I did some research on some of the minutes, some of the things that were said by members of council, by members of the public, and I just don't see a lot there as far as violation of Robert's rules. Personal attacks, I think, is a term that's getting thrown around for political reasons. I think there's a healthy debate, and I think there's respect for each other on council. We may not agree with each other, and that's fine, and that comes down to the vote sometimes, and I like to think that we can move forward professionally. But I think there is a decorum here, and I don't think that there has been a lack of professionalism from City Council. There's been calls for me to gavel down other members of council when they're speaking, and I don't see myself doing that in 2019. I think that the First Amendment is strong and well in this room, and I have great respect for it, to the point where I respect it over Robert's rules. I think that people should have the ability to speak their mind as long as they're doing it in a respectful way, and I think that disagreement is good because it shows different points of views and different perspectives. Again, you may not agree with that assessment, and you might think that we should follow Robert's rules to the T, but my view is that we should be able to have a positive conversation in which we respectfully disagree with each other, that is not thrown to personal attacks just because we may use each other's names. That doesn't mean that it's a personal attack, it's just a differing of opinion. And another point to the rules of Robert's rules, any member of council can talk about a subject 2 separate occasions within a conversation. A third time would be at the leisure of the president of council, which I will always allow someone to do that. And then a 4th time, if we're having a back and forth conversation, would be at the vote of council. So those are Robert's rules, but again, I give great respect to Robert's rules, but I think the First Amendment, as Mr. Spirk would agree, in court rulings, is that the First Amendment will trump Robert rules any day of the week. So if you want to point to Robert's rules and say these are the rules that we're supposed to be following, I do respect those. However, I think that a healthy dialogue starts with the ability to express yourself. And if you don't like what someone else is saying, I don't think censoring their speech is the right thing. I think topping it with better speech, more accurate, or a different point of view is a fine thing to do. Just like Mr. Intalix and I did this evening. And we can respectfully disagree on a different point of view, but that's part of the process, I think. So that's my report moving forward. And you can also look forward to all the city council meetings being online and being on YouTube with pretty good resolution. We're looking at the view right now, and it looks pretty good. I think Mr. Gallagher will be satisfied with it, although we might be putting your grandson out of a job.
I look at my phone?
You're not in it now, but
my side. What side?
It's right above you there. So, again, I thank you all